My name is Aris Chatzistefanou. I'm a journalist. I have worked abroad for BBC World Service and other media. In Greece, I've worked in radio stations and TV channels and newspapers. And a few months ago, I co-directed Debtocracy, a documentary about the Greek debt. There are three different levels of analysis that we should make in order to understand how this debt was created. First is the structural problems of the world financial system. It's not by coincidence that the debt crisis that used to be a phenomenon in the third world countries or in the world periphery, now it's in the center of capitalist economies around the world. We've seen in United States and in great European powers to have similar problems of public debt. The second problem is the structural problems of the Eurozone. Eurozone was a system that created deficits and debts to the European periphery, while at the same time it was creating surpluses in the European core, in countries like France and Germany. So that was a structural problem, and it wasn't by mistake that all these countries like Portugal, Spain, Ireland, they are facing the same problems of public debt. And of course, there are problems with the Greek economy. There is corruption, but in my opinion, corruption is not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is the tax system. That you have to know that Greece is like a tax heaven for the rich and a tax hell for the poor. The unemployment rate, it's now at around 16%. That's what the government is saying, but we believe that it's more than 20%. There are places in near Athens with 80 or 90% of unemployment. So this is a social genocide against the Greek people. The lower levels of the society, they are facing already a humanitarian crisis, but it's mainly the middle classes that they are losing the rights and the working conditions. What the Greek government is doing now is to destroy all the laws concerning the rights of the workers, the rights of the employees. They wanted to treat Greece like a guinea pig. It was a model for other countries in European periphery to see what will happen if you impose these tremendous austerity measures, how the population will react, how the banking system will react, how the economy as a whole will react. For me, the solution to the debt crisis has three steps. First, we have to default. It's impossible to repay a debt of 360 billion euros. And it's not only impossible, but this debt has some characteristics of being odious or illegal. So the people doesn't have to pay an illegal and an odious debt. But even if it was legal, if you have to kill the people, if you have to destroy the society, if you have to close down schools and hospitals, you cannot repay this debt, and you have the right not to pay a debt when it's dangerous, when it's becoming dangerous for the society. After defaulting, in my opinion, we should exit the Eurozone, because Euro was in the center of this crisis. The Eurozone was a system that was creating deficits and debts to the European periphery and surpluses to the European core. So there's nothing to take anymore from Euro. They said that it will protect us from the markets and speculative attacks. That was not the case. We've seen that. They told us that we should have lower rates when we're getting money from abroad. That's not the case anymore. So there's no use to stay in a system that creates deficits and debt. Of course, if we default and exit the Eurozone, there will be tremendous problems to the banking system. Actually, the banking system will collapse. And that's why we're saying that we should nationalize the banking system. We should control the flow of capital coming and leaving Greece. In a way, we should take control of the monetary policy of the country. It's not an easy solution. The population, again, will have tremendous problems, even if we follow these steps. But these are the steps that will let you restart the economy from scratch. It will give you something to hope for the future, because what the government is doing now, it's destroying the future for the next generations.